So I've got a new stand. And I want to fix this. Hold on, guys. All right. Hi, everyone. Give me just a minute. I got a new stand, and I'm trying to get my camera. So, guys, I don't know. Hold on. To figure out where the lens is. There. All right. Gonna move it back a little. So I got this new stand. And I think it's gonna work. We're gonna see. So I just channeled a message, and it wasn't very long. I sat here for a while waiting for Spirit to give me more. Seems we got all we needed, right? If you get an opportunity, please hit that thumbs up as you come into the room. I'd appreciate it. Get yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Oh, mine is already cool. So tonight, this is going to be a big show, so I hope this camera works. There. I messed my hair up doing that, but that's all right. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. So it's going to be a big show tonight. We are doing our gratitude drawing. We are doing a channeled message. However, it is a brief one. I'm not sure why. I figured it would be longer than it is. We are going to do our manifestation candle ritual. Now, I chose intuitively. I wasn't sure what colors I wanted, but I felt, I don't know, Scorpio to me is kind of dark, murky colors, right? So I got the crown chakra, the throat chakra, and I have a protection candle. Hello, Helen. Hi, Emily. Hi, Tammy. So we're going to do 3 candles tonight. I do have all of our names put together for the gratitude drawing. I am really sorry, guys, that I'm a day late doing this, but we had a stomach flu here, and it was pretty bad. I mean, really bad. For a couple of days, it was really bad. So I'm just recovering. I didn't feel strong enough yesterday to do it. Plus, I had all of the zodiacs that I had to complete and finish and get them up. I had 5 private readings to do. I was behind on everything. And you know, when a flu bug hits, it just doesn't care at all. Doesn't care. Whether or not you're sick, whether or not you're behind, it doesn't give a hoot. Hi, Francine. Ray, hi. So everybody say hi to Ray. He is from England, from across the pond. Welcome, Ray. We're going to do a candle ritual tonight. I'll bet you're sitting, well, actually, it's kind of late there, isn't it? I don't know the time difference, but like going on 8 o'clock here. I love you too, Ray. I hope someday we really get to meet each other in person. I feel like family. I mean, I really don't. I'm trying to get this Palo Santo to burn. It's not really complying well. I bought this at the last expo that I did, and I bought a big package of it. And it is super hard. Ooh. All right, so all of this I should have had done before we started. But I've got a new tripod. I've got a new setup. My table, my house is a mess, guys. We've been sick. Jesse, I got it first. I started on Monday. I was so sick. And then Jesse got it a couple days after that. We've been staying home. It's not COVID. It's just a stomach flu, they said, going around. So here I am, kind of winging it again. You guys know me. I always fly by the seat of my pants, right? So how's everybody doing at this time? I keep forgetting where my camera is. I'm thinking, do I have everything? I got my candles, got my anointing oil, got my channeled message, got a table full of cards. I think we're good to go. I've even got all the names for tonight's gratitude drawing. So how's everybody feeling with this new moon? Because I wasn't feeling it. I didn't have any triggers. I didn't have any... I just didn't feel much of anything other than I have had quite a few people reach out to me. And it's funny how the channeled message come through. I guess that means I'm doing okay, right? I mean, we're always a work in progress, but I do feel like we are doing, or I'm doing, good with my shadow work. How are you guys feeling? Is anybody feeling triggered? Are you feeling sadness? Are you feeling depression? Are you feeling stuck? Are you still stuck? Hi, Ghetto Box Entertainment. Hello from London. Hello. I don't know why my camera keeps dropping down. You're feeling stuck? So, according to tonight's channeled message, this new moon in Scorpio is really an opportunity to take stock of your feelings and where you've been and what triggers come up, right? Ghetto Box, I am glad you're happy. You know, I've had a great week other than getting sick, and I didn't have time. Usually when I have time, I'll go and look at the aspects. I usually feel intuitively, you know, where some of the planets are and what's going on. I really haven't been feeling a whole heck of a lot. I think probably because I'm recovering from a stomach flu. But I'm grateful. I feel, hi Shauna, I feel super grateful. Like, I mean, with all the COVID going around, the little town that is next to us, not where I live, but the town on the other side, where I go to karaoke every Friday night. There's a ton of people down right now with COVID. They're all friends of mine, and they're all strong, healthy individuals. Nobody's, you know, I'm not worried for anybody's well-being. Most of them are swinging upward. And so when I got sick on Monday, I kept saying, I've been saying this since the onslaught of this pandemic. I've been saying a mantra over and over again. My mantra is, I am a powerful, conscious creator being, sovereign creator being, and I use my free will choice to state clearly to the universe that I do not consent, I will not comply, I will not participate. And I've been really working on changing on a cellular level. I talk to my body. I'm grateful for it. I've been treating it better. I've been kind of partnering with my body, which is new for me because I spent most of my life hating my body. It was my worst enemy. And a lot of things have changed. I've learned to love this body. I've learned to be grateful for this body, and I've learned to work with it. I listen to it. If it's tired, I rest. If it's hungry, I eat. If it wants fat, I eat fat. If it wants veggies, I eat veggies. And if I eat something that doesn't agree with me, I usually talk to my body and ask why. I'm like, okay, you know, maybe it's gluten, I don't know. But I just listen. And this is all new for me, guys. And so when I got sick on Monday, instantly panic settled in. I was like, oh my God, what if we caught COVID? What if, I mean, it's going around so heavily around our friendship circle. There's some of Jesse's little friends, he's only 12, that have it. It seems like they get it for a day and bounce right back, but I was worried. And then I started looking up all the symptoms, and I realized this, whatever I have. Hi, honey. So I don't know why, but your comments come up for like 2 seconds and then they disappear. So if you say something and I miss it, I do apologize. I always go back after the live show and review them. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Emily. So I'm just kind of rambling here for a few minutes, just to give people an opportunity to get in. I was a few minutes late getting started because my whole life is in chaos. My dishes aren't done. Half of my groceries that are not refrigerants are still laying on the floor. I've got laundry piled up on the couch that's all washed and ready to be put away. When that flu bug hit me, I was down. Boom, for the count. I woke up in the morning and I had nothing wrong. I felt perfectly normal. I made my morning coffee, took my morning vitamins, and I started my workday. I went in and started making videos for YouTube. And during the readings that morning, I just started feeling really dizzy, like lightheaded and dizzy. And I noticed in the camera that the color had just drained out of my face. I started getting the shakes and my stomach started cramping. And it cramped so bad that I immediately had to end the video. I had to redo it later because I just couldn't finish it. I went in, I started all of my holistic stuff. I made myself a tea tincture that, it's called Gypsy Cold Care and Throat Coat. I buy it organically at the grocery store. And I made myself a cup of that, even though my stomach didn't feel like it could handle anything. I went in and drew myself a super hot bath, and I put essential oils and my sea salt, and I immediately went into self-care. And so I felt okay. I mean, I was in that bath for a while. And when I got out, I thought, well, okay, whatever it was, it's subsiding. And the stomach wasn't hurting. I didn't have any problems with vomiting or diarrhea. It was just cramping and dizziness. And so I got out of the tub and it hit me again like a wave. And I couldn't even stand. I felt like I had vertigo or like inner ear problems or something. So I headed to the bed and I laid down, pulled my knees up into my chest. Jesse was at school and drifted off to sleep. Thank God, because I felt like I was dying. And so by the time I awakened, I felt better again. And this is the way it went for 3 days. Like I was perfectly normal and then I was excruciatingly not normal. And so, yeah, like I said, I'm just catching you guys up because I'm waiting to see how many people are going to show up. I'm a day late, but the new moon is still in full swing. And let's see, we've been going. We've been going 14 minutes. I'm going to wait a few more minutes and then we're going to start. Okay. So then Jesse came home from school on Tuesday and it hit him. And it hit him a little bit differently than it hit me. He didn't have the stomach cramping, but he had the dizziness. Sorry. Hold on, guys. I need to put shut my notifications off so that nobody knocks us off here. All right, so I don't know what happened. Somebody tried calling me and it booted me out for a minute, but it looks like it came right back online. Are we okay? Can you guys see me, hear me? Are we still streaming? Can somebody say hi? Let me know that we're still going. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm new to using my phone, guys. My computer just doesn't work. I don't know why. Every time we've tried to do a live, it just shuts down. So hopefully nobody will call. It's 8 o'clock at night, right? Aren't the spammers supposed to stop at 8 o'clock? So anyhow, yeah, Jesse his manifested differently. And I was grateful. So this week has been gratitude for me. Super gratitude. Nobody had COVID. And by all means, we probably were exposed because we went to a Halloween party. Jesse stayed with those kids. It was crazy. But anyhow, we were tested. It was negative. Everything's good. Thank you. All right. So are you guys ready? We're going to do the channel message. It's relatively short, guys. Sometimes spirit is super winded, long-winded. And I think they understand. I think my higher self and my guides and angels understand that, this has been a tough week. And so I think they took it easy on me. So I'm going to start the channeled message, and then we are going to, oh, by the way, announcement. If you want your name in the drawing for the gratitude drawing, I'm giving away a full hour's, and you guys know me, I'm very generous with my time, so it could even be more than an hour. But I'm giving away a private pre-recorded reading to the lucky winner, and we're doing this every other month as a way for me to just say thank you for each and every one of you that support me monetarily. I mean, this being a YouTuber is not, especially if you're not a huge YouTuber creator, it doesn't pay a lot. So I am always grateful for all of the donations, all of the private readings you order, each and every one of my Patreons. I'm grateful that you guys don't ditch me when I get sick or when things come up and I can't keep up with all of the things I promise. And I just want to tell you that when I can't show up the way I promise, then I absolutely will spoil you the next week, right? I mean, as soon as I'm up and feeling better or things clear out of the schedule, then I start creating like crazy and try to get everything caught up. So thank you. If you would like to, energy check-in after our tarot readings, right before I do the drawing, if you want to send a super chat of $15 or more, I will do an energy check-in for you at the end, and I think our stream will be strong since I'm using my phone. God willing and the creek don't rise. You know what, Ghetto Box? I am just grateful you're here. I swear. I'm just so grateful that I have all of you. Most of us are on a journey, a spiritual awakening, twin flame, just crazy. And I needed you guys. I needed you because I thought I was going crazy, insane. And so, the gratitude drawing is just something that I'm doing to show my gratitude for each and every one of you. And, yeah, not your mama. You are not my mama. You are my sister. I love you, girl. Thank you. Do you want an energy check-in, or are you just showing love? Let me know, okay? So anyhow, yes, I got to put your name in there too. I think I did, but I'm going to put it in again because you just did it again. So, yes, at the end of all this is going to be a long show, guys, so buckle up, buttercups. All right? Let's get ready with our channeled message. Are you guys ready? And I thank God the super chats come up in bright colors so I can keep track of everybody. Because right before we do the drawing, everybody's name is going to go in. All right. So, yesterday at 5:15 Eastern Standard Time, PM, the clock says 0000. Okay, that's military time, and I'm not well versed, but it sounds like it's probably top of the hour for you. So, anyhow, yesterday was the new moon in Scorpio, guys. Scorpio, come on. This is, I mean, you could be. So, oh, and I forgot to tell you. Yes, top of the hour, midnight. I forgot to tell you guys, I had a spiritual attack. The night that I was sick, now maybe it was just a nightmare because I was sick, but I've had these before. I had a dream, and in my dream, it was like I felt a dark presence. And it was weird. It was like I could only open one eye in my dream, and the other eye was like blind, and it scared me. I couldn't open it. And so eventually, I don't know how I did it, but in my dream, I like forced that eye open. And when I opened it, I literally saw what looked like a gray alien's face. And I grabbed it in my dream. I grabbed it by its head and I looked it right, I got right nose to nose with it. And I said, "You are not allowed to be here. I am light." And I have to tell you, the look on its face was almost comical. It was like it did not expect me to confront it. Like literally, I grabbed it by its face and got right up in its face and told it, you know, "You are not welcome here, and I am of the light, and you have to go." And so I think Scorpio, especially for those of us that are I call them like astral travelers. I have been astral traveling for most of my life. And so Scorpio can be nightmarish, right? Especially when you're in your shadow side or when you're triggered by your fears. So it just dawned on me to talk to you about that. Yes, astro project. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I didn't know that's what I was doing until I watched Shirley MacLaine's movie Out on a Limb. And she talked about exiting her body with a cord that held her. And when I was a kid, I used to do that every night, and I would fly down my street and I would sit in the trees. I would play in the treetops. It was just, I thought it was a dream. I didn't think that anything was real. I just thought it was a dream until one day, many years later in my 20s, I watched that movie, and shortly after that, lightning struck a tree out front and knocked it down. And I saw a knot that was in this tree that you could only see if you were way at the top of it. And it was my favorite place to perch and sit. Hi, August Rains. How are you, darling? So I got to look like this, guys, because I have bifocals. So anyhow, yeah, that tree came down and it hit me. I was like, I've been there. That's my limb. That's where I played. That's where when I astrally projected, I'd sit and rest from flying and playing out of my body. So Scorpio is kind of that kind of energy, for me at least, empathically. It's all about the underworld. It's about the death and rebirth and transformation and the shadow side, right? I can't read that. As a kid, you would sit on places. I'll go back and read that, guys, because it'll come up again the next time somebody comments. They come back up again. So anyhow, this is what some of us might be experiencing during this new moon, especially if you astrally project. Back. So tell me about being a Scorpio. I don't know, because I don't know where I have Scorpio. Scorpio, I think the only place I have it in my birth chart is in my South Node, like past lives. But I do know that Scorpios are a water sign. They're highly intuitive, but they also can be a little touchy, right? So I'm going to read the channeled message, but it did bring to mind that you can actually, at this time, be in contact with underworld or thought forms or grays or it does seem to be very shadowy, I guess is the way I want to explain it. I don't know. But anyhow, so this is what I channeled in meditation. Spirit always gives me a title. I don't know why. I guess it's like a journalist. I need content, right? I need an inspirational thought. And it's very deep, a little dark. Yeah, it's like the dark side of emotions. So they titled this The Rise of the Phoenix. And so this is what I channeled. It says, many of us have been going through this huge transformation for quite a while now. Everybody's journey's been different, but for me, I mean, the heavy, really, really, really heavy hitting stuff has been about 3 years. Since eclipse season, blue moon, it was crazy. It was like an eclipse, a blue moon. And it was about this time of year. It was like November, I think, of 2017. Tail end of 2017. But everybody's, different. But many of us have been going through this huge transformation for quite a while now. Going very deep within our souls, facing our insecurities and fears. We've been very triggered by outer circumstances, divinely guided, purging. It's been intense, at least for me. It's been extremely intense. And so we've been facing fears and things that keep us stuck. All right, stuck seemed to be a big keyword for this new moon. Actually, unstuck is the theme, right? We're wanting to get unstuck. So it's for most of us who have been on this journey of death and rebirth for a while now, not going to be, okay, so for this moon, sorry guys, because when I channel, I automatic write, so it's a little wonky. So this moon is not going to be very triggering for those of us that have been doing the deepest work, okay? And it's not a competition. It's not those who are successful versus those who aren't. It's just a lot of us are older souls. We have more past lives to clear, more deep trauma that needs to be brought up to the surface, right? And some of us are newer souls that don't have as much to clear, and they seem to come through it quite quickly. And yeah, sometimes I kind of hate them. No, not really. But yeah, sometimes I think, oh, especially clients, younger clients that come to me and they're already in union, they're twin flaming them or getting married, they're going to start a family. It's crazy. I get a little envious, I must admit. So I cannot read your name. I can read it, the G. Connor. So I can't read your first name because, I'm blind. So for those of us that have been going through this death and rebirth process, this moon is going to do one of two things. It's either going to bring up more to be cleared. You could be triggered, you could be depressed, you could be facing cycles that you've been going through over and over and over again. You know, it's like I get clients that get a hold of me and they tell me every single person I date ends up being, you know, a cheater or a liar, or they ghost. And these are patterns, right? And when we experience patterns anywhere in our life, anywhere, addictions, repetitive fears, repetitive cycles, it's because somewhere inside of us, latently, in the subconscious mind, we're creating it. Which sounds harsh, but it is true. We are powerful, conscious creators. Where our thoughts go, energy flows. Oh, no. See, I've been sick. I haven't even looked it up. I knew that a eclipse was coming, but I didn't know it was going to be in the sign of Scorpio. So, yeah. All right. So, anyhow, if you've been working on your fears and insecurities and shadow for a while now, this moon is going to be like a return from the underworld. Okay, now remember years ago when I first started this YouTube channel, I did a channeled message from Spirit where they talked about, you know, mythology. There's so many different gods and goddesses in mythology, and they're all archetypes, right? They represent our beingness, all of the archetypes that we express through. And guys, if you're talking to me, I may not see it. So if you want to talk amongst yourself, but when I'm channeling, I can't really keep track of what you're saying. So return from the underworld. The underworld is like, I call it the shadow world. It's the inversion of our experience. It's all of our fears, it's all of our traumas, it's all of our past life karma, it's ancestral patterning, it's all of that under the surface stuff, the stuff that's always there, but sometimes we can't see it, we just feel it, and we don't understand it, and it's really not in our awareness. It's like a person who was traumatized as a child, repressing feelings, emotions, and memories, and not remembering that trauma until many years later when they have some kind of an awareness of it. And so going into the underworld, one of, you know, the Egyptians, in the Egyptian mythology, which is the one I know the most, you would go across the river of Styx into the underworld, and you would come across the god Anubis, the dog god Anubis. And Anubis weighs your soul against a feather. And so if your soul weighs more than a feather, then you have to go back to the underworld and do more work, right? It's shadow work. It's clearing. So I channeled way back in the day that we had to have a heart with wings and a soul as light as a feather. And what that means is, think of the ascension. Think of your soul rising like a hot air balloon, right? And all of the traumas that we've experienced in this life and past lives, and all of the traumas and stuff we've inherited, sins of the father visited upon the sons and daughters, right? It's ancestral patterning. It's my mom did it, taught her how to do it, and her mom's mom taught her how to do it. And so it goes on and on and on. So these are things that weigh us down. They're like little sandbags that hold our ascension process tethered into the third density, the lowest, by the way, density there is other than first and second. First density is a point. That's it. There's no movement. It's a point, right? Second density is a line. You go from A to B and there's no depth, no width, no height, nothing. Third density is where we're at, and it's where we've been for a long time. And so we are ascending, we are becoming ascended beings, right? Shows it because not everybody's ready for it. I mean, you don't begrudge a newborn child for not being able to ride a Harley. It's not that they can't, they have the same potential. They just haven't had the life experience or the development in order to do so. So, for those of us that chose the ascension in this lifetime, we have to empty out all of the sandbags, right? We've got to have a heart with wings and a soul as light as a feather. And the only way we can do that is clearing, 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 releasing, releasing, purging, healing, purging, healing, clearing, releasing. I don't know what you guys have been through, but I'm telling you, I never knew what a purge was until I went through the dark night of the soul. I lost my mom. I lost my older sister within 7 months of each other, lost my religion, lost my faith. I was a hot mess, and I purged and I purged. And during that purge, I had past life recall. It was like my crown chakra blew open during that crazy moon. I do believe it was at the tail end of 2017. It was a blue moon. It was the blood moon. It had like 5 different titles. And it was like the moment that moon happened, something in me shifted and changed. And so for 3 years now, I've been purging, healing, releasing, purging, healing, releasing. And for me personally, my trigger was my twin flame. I mean, I don't know why. I guess everybody chooses different ways to experience the awakening. But for me, it was when my twin flame re-entered into the picture after 20 years of absence and really didn't do anything. It wasn't like he showed up and started, working magic. It was just an energy. It was like something lit. And then I was on this roller coaster ride of emotions and I couldn't get off. I still have a hard time getting off of that roller coaster ride. However, so as we purge, heal, release, we ascend, right? We go a little higher. We raise our frequency, raise our vibration. We get a little higher. We jump timelines. And before you know it, we've ascended out of the third density. And now we're in that yoni state, right? That in-between state right here where Gaia has split. This is where the twins split. This is where the atom splits. This is the, it's the Vesica Pisces, but it's sacred geometry. It's the beginning of the seed of life. It's just crazy. And so when you start bridging third density, you go into the yoni, which is 0 point energy. Do you remember? I don't even know when, so don't check my work. But several years ago, well, it would be within those 3 years. So a couple of years ago, all of the planets realigned, like in a straight line. And it was like this huge astrological event that only happens like every 200 or 2,500 or 30,000. I don't know, a crazy number. Don't check my math either. But when that happened, that was the yoni. That was everything. It was like a clock resetting back to that 0 point energy. And it was the end of Pisces and the beginning of the age of Aquarius. It's the golden age. It's been prophesied on cave walls and biblical texts. And so, yeah, I don't know about you guys, but it was something I guess my soul chose in this lifetime because I have transformed. I have become that Scorpio energy. I went through a huge death and rebirth. And so when we go through these deaths and rebirths, when we face our shadow, we get our soul weighed against that feather. What is still keeping us stuck? What's still in our sandbag? What's keeping us tethered? What still needs to be purged and healed and cleared and released? Purged and healed and cleared and released, right? And so I don't know about you guys, but I've faced that God a few times, and I keep getting sent back to the underworld. It's like, nope, back for you. You still got more work to do. And so this new moon in Scorpio is kind of like facing that god Anubis. How is your ascension journey going? Are you heavily burdened? Are you still extremely tethered? Are you still in poverty consciousness? Are you still in old belief systems of shame and guilt and remorse and blame? And, do you know your worth? Do you understand that you are God in experience? Where are you on this journey? And what still needs to be purged, healed, cleared, and released? And so I'm here to tell you that personally, I'm still clearing and releasing and changing on a cellular level. I think that's why I manifested an illness, right? Toxicity and stuff in that, cellular memory, things that are buried deep within the cellular. For me, I've always struggled with food. I was overweight most of my life, or at least from my 20s up until my 50s, late 40s. But I think that there's still healing and purging and clearing and releasing that I need to do when it comes to everything that I did wrong to this body, to this avatar. I mean, we can't be here. Our soul cannot have this experience without this avatar. And if you're here, you chose to have this experience. And so this new moon is all about, you need a roll-off dumpster. I think I've had a couple. I think I've filled a couple and had them hauled out of here. But yeah, so let me get back to because now I'm just free channeling. I'm not, that's probably why Spirit didn't give me a lot to write down, because they knew I was going to tap into the energies. So this new moon in Scorpio is an opportunity to kind of look in that God Anubis face and listen. What still holds you back? What is your soul? Soul is light as a feather. That's a clear conscience, guys. I'm good. I'm good, right? No, I'm not quite good, but I'm almost good. But I'll tell you, when I started this process, I was nowhere near being good. Nope. If my soul had been weighed against a feather at the beginning of my journey, it would have been the Rock of Gibraltar. I had so much karma to clear, so many ancestral patterns, so many past lives. I think I'm an old soul, pretty sure, because I sure had an awful lot of past life recalls. A lot of trauma, guys, a lot of trauma. And most of it, I feel I had in other lifetimes. Like, this lifetime wasn't even the worst one. But this moon energy is going to be like a mirror. It's like that black mirror, right? The one that you divinate in, the one that you stare into the depths of. And what do you see? What do you feel? How heavy is your soul? Do you have a clear conscience? Are you in love with life? Are you at one with source? Are you creating, or are you creating a higher and better experience? Or are you still creating the same story over and over and over again? And maybe you had lots of stories, and maybe most of them you've cleared, but there's one that keeps coming back around, because for me, there's two. And I'm so aware of them. And I'm constantly working on them. But I think the new moon energy for me has been a reflection of everything I've accomplished this far. And that little bit of shadow that's still lurking there, just kind of going, blah, 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 right? You can't catch me. I'm the elusive shadow, the one that keeps hiding. And so I'm going to go back to reading now. But we're on an ascension. At least I feel most of the people that watch my channel are. We're a small group, guys. We are, because not everybody chose this lifetime for this transformation. I mean, I think everybody is leveling up. Everybody's transforming. Everybody's changing. Everybody's elevating. But not everybody chose this lifetime to absolutely just clear the entire slate and move into that fifth dimension, fifth density oneness, right? Going from separation back into unity, to knowing that everything is God and experience, that you are me and I am you. And when I look into your face, I should see a reflection of compassion and understanding, even if what you're doing is extremely not my thing or part of my journey. I need to have compassion and understand and awareness that your soul chose your experiences, and I'm not here to take those away from you or to lighten your load. The time for that has come and passed. We've already done the harvesting. The light workers that are here, we've already done the harvesting. Everybody who chose the ascension is already well on it. And in various degrees. But a lot of us are already on mission. We're already creating the new templates. We're creating new healthcare systems. We're creating new government. I mean, we are here to replace everything that's coming down, everything that's being eradicated. And those who weren't ready to go into the fifth dimension are going to go into higher timelines within the third dimension, right? Instead of being in the lowest of low, they'll be maybe closer to the ceiling before that quantum jump, right? You only go so high in the densities. It's like a lasagna. And then you hit the top, and then you face a choice. It's like now you have to take that last leap of faith, that last purge, that last clearing, that last healing, that last release, to take that quantum jump into the next density, completely out of third density altogether. And so everybody gets an opportunity. Everybody is leveling up. Everybody, it's graduation day. Those who are in kindergarten are going to first grade. Those who are in first are going to second, etc. Those who are ready to graduate are graduating. And it's not like you're leaving the planet. The planet is leaving and you're going with it, right? And those who are still heavily embedded in the lowest of the third density, Gaia has split, and she is leaving part of herself in that third density so that those people have the opportunity to make it. It's like she's created a bridge from one experience to the other, one density to the other. But eventually she's going to reintegrate. She's going to find union. And when the planet finds union, then, that's when that prophecy in the Bible comes true, where it's like Jesus said, you'll be in the world, but not of it. When you raise your frequency beyond fear, and fear is the lowest density, when you raise your frequency and vibration beyond fear, guilt, blame, shame, all of those really dense, heavy timelines, you are the phoenix that arises from the ashes, and you're going to have new experiences. You're going to live a better life. You're going to have higher vibration. You're going to learn the art of manifestation. And you better be careful, because some of us are instantly manifesting. It's like you think of something and boom, it shows up, especially if it's done in fear. So this moon is all about reflection. It's the black mirror. Where are we on our journey? What has us still stuck? What relationships, friendships, religious beliefs, dogma, old institutions, ways, the old ways, what no longer fits our newfound identity? And what are we clinging to, right? We've talked about this for many moons. It seems like every new or full moon, which happens, every 21 days, is a new opportunity to purge, clear, heal, and release. Purge, clear, heal, and release. But this particular moon is going to be a mirror. So what this moon reflects back to you is a huge opportunity to check on your progress. If you're triggered into fears or negative thoughts or old belief systems, then it's and especially childhood wounding, guys. You really want to look at your childhood. Because we, up until the age of like 11, I think, psychologically, we are just mimickers. That's all we are. We don't really find true autonomy from our peers and role models and parents until we get around 10 or 12, somewhere in there. And so most of what we learn in those younger years is parroting. It's role modeling. So what were your parents like? And what did they role model to you? And what words did they use? Did they praise you, or did they criticize you? Did they love you, or did they find you to be annoying? Or maybe they did all of those. But which of those did you choose to role model, to mimic, to take on, like put on like a cloak, right? Because that's where most of your tethers, those sandbags, are going to be from. Now, like I said, some of them are from past lives, some of them are from, but a lot of them are ancestral patterning. So if your father was abusive, possibly his father was abusive, or his mother, it could go either way. But we usually choose who we are according to what we've been taught to believe that we are. And the awakening is a peeling back of all of those cloaks, all of those masks, all of those false programs. It's like if your father was an alcoholic and your mother was codependent, because usually, or it could be the other way. Your mom was the alcoholic, your father was a codependent. Usually those two really find each other. They're like the perfect match, right? So if you grew up watching your father or your mother be an alcoholic or a drug addict or an abuser, and then you've got the other side of that coin, the other parent, which for most of us is the opposite. Not always. Sometimes two pairs meet one another, and then it's really bad for the child because you don't have just one abusive or addicted parent, you have two, right? But that's where a lot of the shadow work needs to be looked at and really processed. And where we need to come to the realization that that's their stuff. That wasn't our stuff. It became our stuff because they role modeled it to us. But as adults, we get to choose, right? We get to choose. We are powerful, conscious creators, co-creating with the divine our highest and best life. We don't have to be a drunk just because they were, or a drug addict, or an abuser. We don't have to be codependent. We don't have to be any of those things, right? And really, the only thing we need to be is a choice. You can be anything you want to be. There's no judgment. We are not sitting under an authoritative God that judges us. We just aren't. God is everything, the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the middle, the end, everything that was, is, and ever shall be. And the only person that places judgment on us at the end of the day is us. And so, and those, I don't know if Ray's still in the room, but Ray is one of my, I have a handful of friends that are have experienced near-death experiences. And everybody comes back with a different story, and some come back with some pretty powerful gifts. But I have one friend, now I don't remember Ray's story, whether or not, Ray, you said that you experienced that life review. But I've got a couple of friends that really did go through their life review. And the life review is for you to judge. Where are you happy? Are you happy with what you learned? Do you need to go back? Do you need to learn more? Assessment. Do you feel guilty? Do you feel shame? Did you do some dirty deeds? Is your soul as light as a feather? Do you need to make amends? What do you need? You get to judge, right? So I don't know where I was channeling with that, but the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, we are free will, sovereign creator beings. We create with our thoughts, our intention, and our energy, and our emotions. Emotions, when you marry a strong emotion with a thought, you become such a powerful manifester. And so you have to guard those thoughts, right? If you think you're worthless, if you think that you're stuck, if you think that you're not lovable, if you think that you're broken, and then you marry that with a really strong emotional bond, boom, it's like going to Walmart and finding everything you wanted sitting right there on the shelf. And so what I've learned during this process is really we get to choose those thoughts. We can be the observer of our thoughts, right? My friend Sherry used to always say, you are not the mind, you are not the body. You are not the mind, you are not the body. And we are a soul. We are the essence, the animator of those thoughts and this body, right? These are tools. Thoughts, it's a sense. I don't know where I got this from. I don't remember if I read it or if I dreamed it or channeled it, but somewhere I got this wild notion that our thoughts, our ego and our thoughts is actually a tool. It's actually another sense, like an extra sense, right? Your thoughts aren't real. They're only real when you create life into them. And so I used to think that I was a failure, that I was a glutton, that I was unworthy. I believed wholeheartedly that no matter how much I loved other people or did for other people, I just never, ever, 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 ever felt like anybody chose me at the end of the day. Nobody